Hey guys, I had some questions about factoring and the methods you need to use to factor. Now, I wanted to go over a couple of things real quick and just give you some quick video instructions on factoring and the factoring that you should be trying to do. Um, First method of factoring that we learned about was factoring out a GCF, a greatest common factor, from all the terms of a polynomial. So GCF is just something you can divide out of every term in the expression. So when we look at this guy right here, this 10x to the third and 20x squared, between 10 and 20, okay, what's the largest thing you can divide out of both 10 and 20? And you can divide 10 from 10. You can also divide 10 from 20. And that's going to be part of our GCF. So I'm going to write off to the side, GCF, 10. Now, that's not all the GCF. Both of these terms also contain the variable x, so x is part of the GCF. And we look for the lowest power of x between the terms, which is the second power. Okay, and that's the power that's going to go on our GCFx. Now we can factor this by dividing the GCF from both terms. What you're going to do is you're going to pull the 10x squared out in front of a group. Inside your group, you're going to put the quotient or the leftovers whenever you divide 10x squared from both the terms. So if you divide 10x squared from the first term, well, 10 divided by 10, they just cancel out. X cubed divided by x squared, it's like taking 2 x's away when you have 3 to start with, so you're left with 1x. Then go to the second term, you do the same thing, divide it by 10x squared. 20 divided by 10 is 2. Then the x squareds, they cancel out. So we have it factored as 10x squared times x plus 2. Now you can kind of do the reverse to check your answer to make sure you did this correct. So let's just come over here and let's make sure, let's check it. Now to check, all we're going to do is we're going to distribute that 10x squared into both the terms. So we're going to multiply everything back out. That's the opposite of factoring. So 10x squared times x. And then 10x squared times 2. What do those work out to be? Well, 10x squared times x is just 10x cubed. 10x squared times 2 is just 20x squared, which that matches with the original problem. So that means we factored correctly. That means that has to be the answer. Okay, so again, just trying to find the largest thing that will divide out of all of the terms. Okay, so try one on your own. Let's see, let's come up with one, something like this. 4x to the fourth power minus 8x squared plus 16x. Alright, so pause this and come back in a sec when you're done. Alright, so when we look at it, we notice that between all these terms, they're all divisible by 4, or their coefficients, I should say, are divisible by 4. Okay, so 4 is going to be part of our GCF. Okay, they all also contain an x. You have an x to the fourth, x to the second, and x to the first power. So x is going to be part of the GCF. The lowest power of x is right here on this last term, that x to the first. That's the lowest power of x. Okay, so our GCF is just 4x. Now we can divide everything by 4x and write the leftovers in our group. Divide this first one by 4x. 4's cancel. X to the fourth over x to the first leaves you x cubed. Divide the second one by 4x. And negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. Your x's, divide those. X squared over x leaves us an x to the first power. And the last term, divide it by 4x. 16 divided by 4 is 4. The x's cancel, and that appears to be our factored form. Okay, we can check that by distribution, make sure it would be the original problem if we multiplied everything back out, and sure enough it is. Okay, so that is our correct factored form, 4x times x cubed minus 2x plus 4.